even IT people.
Yeah. Let's do this.
It's that time for our weekly Game News Live podcast. Be a part of the show by joining us at nerdjunkies.com/Twitch. Live Saturdays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. With your host, console fanboy, our resident OG,
Does that tickle your fancy, please?
It really does. Was that like a dial-up modem screech?
Yeah. It's Melbot.
Melbot is here.
Yep. These are my happy sounds. Those are her vuvuzulas.
We should just have like a prop, like landline phone, and then like whenever Mel starts getting out of hand, we just pick up the receiver and then she goes down. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She handshakes with AOL, and she's just like,
it's like, and here's Mel, and he goes, welcome.
yeah, welcome. You've got spam.
You've got Mel.
Hey.
Oh, where is it?
You.
You've got Mel.
Any audio people who follow us, I'm gonna need somebody to make that.
Dude.
You've got welcome. You've got Mel, and that'll be like, we gotta get that. Like somebody, I don't know how to do that. Somebody has to do that. Okay. You could probably just play it in like Audacity or some kind of like audio recorder or like audio editor, and like maybe just edit mail a little bit. Yeah. So it's like instead of mail, it's Mel. You know?
It's just like some glitch.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Maybe if we add a games deal segment, that might just be like play it off like mail spam of just
all I'm saying is we are literally we're just releasing genius into the universe right now. That's all I'm saying. Okay, like this needs to happen. Right. Okay.
Welcome, everyone.
AOL's going to come back and sue us, and it's like they're not a thing.
They just
anymore.
got sold for something else, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Like didn't like Yahoo just sell them to somebody or something like that?
And they sold them for like way less than what they got them for. So I'm just like, okay, well, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna open myself a hotel with the nickel.
Yahoo.
I opened my own hotel.
Yeah.
God.
Eurotrip, everybody, watch that movie. It's amazing.
If nobody's ever seen it, yes, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mel, how's your week?
Very stressful.
Spamming
our Discord, I see.
Yes.
There's a lot of good game deals on our Discord now, by the way.
Any set deals or anything that was special, or were you just winging it the whole time?
Well, yeah, that's Mel. Mel, do you have any game deals that you enjoyed? Or
winging it? Wing?
Good.
You get it?
Yeah.
I got it. She's got wings. Got it. But there was a game deal that I saw on there which still puzzles me to this day. All the Call of Duties that are out there ever. Like
going back to like the early 2000s.
I think it stopped at like Modern Warfare, so not the like previous one. Well, I guess
so not like COD 1, 2, and 3, like from back in the PC days.
So there was, but the thing that still gets me is like all the Call of Duties are still way overpriced for what they are. Mm-hmm. Every single time.
Oh, dude, that's Activision. Like Activision, they're like Nintendo. They don't do sales correctly.
Yeah.
It's like when Nintendo, like they have a 10-year-old game that's still $60.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, it's on sale. It's $1 off.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Activision, I remember a few years ago, me and Syndicate, we were talking about going through the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games, which are fun. Those are fun co-op games. And the first one, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, was like a 360 game from like 2008 or something like that. And it was like, it was on Steam for like $40.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, like I could probably find the 360 disc for like 50 cents nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, why am I paying $40 just because it's on Steam? I don't think so. Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, Activision kind of sucks at doing like discounts and sales and stuff.
Because if you look at the link that Mel just sent out, like, dude, Activision collection, right? This is like a lot. Not even Call of Duty stuff. You're getting a couple of them, but
Ghosts is $50.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that game sucked too.
Yeah.
Like,
And it wasn't even apologetic about it. It was like, yeah.
You think like Nintendo would be bad about keeping their prices high for older games, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, this is like, wait, is that $600? $650?
Yes.
It's
Holy crap.
53 items in this package. You get Gun, which is, I don't know if they sorted this.
Gun's not even a Call of Duty game. It's like a cowboy game, like from 2006.
And those original Call of Duty should be at least $5. They should not be over 10.
Wait, but are you talking about so the original Call of Duty?
Yes.
From 2006?
Yes.
Is $15.
$15.
Shut your face,
and that's
dude.
And that's their deal. That's their 25% off deal.
They're like, yeah, it's $15. Full price, it's $40. So you're welcome.
Dude, I don't know.
I guarantee you I could go to a thrift store right now, find one for like from the original Xbox for $2.
Dude, they're usually at that Walmart like little rack that they have for the PC games, which is pathetic. They usually have like Sims and then Call of Duty right next to it for like $5.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the hell?
That is absurd for like, and I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means. The original Call of Duty and Call of Duty 2 are great. Like, those are good games. Like this was back in like the early 2000s when it was just World War II game city, man. Like everybody had a World War II game. And like you had Medal of Honor, which was great. And then like when Call of Duty kind of like when the Medal of Honor team left and then made Infinity Ward and then made Call of Duty, it was like, oh, this game is like, this is awesome.
Right.
These are good games. They're not even on sale $15 in the year 2021 good. This should be like at the most $5.
$5, man. I bet you anything if they put like any game that's 10 years or older for $5 and then anything in between like 5 to 10 years to like 15 or maybe even 10, they'd sell a crap ton.
That's what I'm saying. These games should be $5 a piece. Like 1, 2, and 3 should be $5 a piece.
Whatever, man.
Easy.
I don't know. Activision is just
like I said, they suck at this.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, they are also like the most profitable video game publishing corporation ever. So
making more money by giving people deals. Just saying.
Umbra says right here.
American. But yeah.
Umbra says right here, 50% off, and it's still $50. That's because they try to trick you with that like digital deluxe edition that's still $90 back when it was first released.
That would be awesome if they were like, oh, this is the special edition Call of Duty 1. That's why it's so expensive. And it'd be like, oh yeah, what's in that? It'd be like, oh, it comes with all of these awesome multiplayer skins. And it's like, oh, so I can play Call of Duty multiplayer still? And it's like, no, we shut those down 10 years ago.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It's like,
you can play local, but nobody's doing that anymore.
Yeah. I'm like,
you're gonna have to buy a game or a GameSpy tunnel. You're gonna have to modify the crap out of it. Maybe
does that even still exist?
I don't think GameSpy. I mean, the software is probably still out there, so you can. I mean, like it's probably has 20 years of vulnerabilities that need to be patched, but it's technically still there.
Yeah.
Just give yourself admin rights and just
and everything works.
there's no problems anymore once you're like full god mode. There you go.
Just put your computer on the DMZ, you're all set.
Exactly. Any rules all day, bro. Let's do this.
What a nightmare.
Look, firewalls only cause problems because they make things stop working. Okay, that's all I'm saying. If you just got rid of all the firewalls, everybody can do their jobs.
We
that's
would
all
rejoice, hold hands.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
All right, should we get to the game releases?
We shall. Yeah, let's do game releases. So first on the chopping block here, we got Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. Clay, you stated this was a first person, I assume, shooter because they got a lot of arrows here, and I assume
it's not first person.
I thought it was. Is it?
No, when I was watching the person earlier, it was actually third person.
Oh,
third
okay.
Person over the shoulder, kind of like Gears of War.
Kind of, yeah.
So
or like a GTA where it's like a little further back.
It might be the GTA, probably.
Yeah, because the one thing that sucks about their website is that they never even show like gameplay footage.
No, they don't.
I'm like, okay. For all I know, this could be like a top-down, like friggin' RTS. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah, it's so. Oh, by the way, we were talking about this last week because we were going to talk about this last week for this week's releases, and then Mel was like, "Wait a minute, your date's wrong on there. We got to fix that." Here's where all the confusion was. The game actually released a couple days ago for early release if you had it pre-ordered.
Oh.
Then, like, the official release date is actually on Monday, which is very strange. But yeah, but it is technically live now. If you pre-ordered the game, you can just, or if I guess if you, because it hasn't actually launched yet, so you could actually just pre-order it right now and start playing. But yeah, this is a PvPvE game. So it's two squads of 4 that are, it's a heist game. You're going to go in, it's like, picture a medieval version of, what's that game, Payday?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're going to go in, you're going to go steal something. But there's also another player squad of 4 who are after the same thing. So while you're going through killing guards and, you know, whoever's protecting that treasure or getting a key or something like that, the other team is still out there doing the same thing. And so at some point, you might have to kill them if they're like after this, you know, like maybe you all break into the room at the same time and then like, hey, swords all come out and bows and arrows are flying everywhere and stuff like that. And,
I mean, it sounds fun in concept. It just also sounds like a bunch of chaotic mess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I'm going to have to check it out then.
The CG trailer, which is the one that you see on their website, it looks cool. It looks cool, but this is a rental for me.
Is this like, one of those games where the CG is amazing, but yet the gameplay is like...
From what I've seen...
No Man's Sky level?
Footage. Well, dude, No Man's Sky, what a disaster of a game that was. But yeah, like, this is... From what I've seen of the gameplay, which I could have swore it was a first person. I guess I was.
I'm watching someone plushies right now playing it, and it's third person.
It's third? Okay, then then my bad. But it was like, it looks good. Like the character models and the graphics and everything. It looked fine. Like nothing amazing, but it's a PvP game at heart. So like, it looks good enough to be that.
We're gonna have to check out that gameplay then.
Yeah. It looks cool, but I can already see that this isn't a game that I would be spending a ton of time in. Yeah. Like this is a rental or a free weekend kind of game for me.
Releases in 2 days, so people are just playing the early release right now, right?
Yeah, like I said, if you pre-order it, you can get into it right now.
3 days early access.
Yeah,
got it. Cool.
But yeah, so and there's these 4 classes. Like you just scroll through one of them, like the Ranger.
Yeah,
and it's like, it looks cool.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it. So it looks
Raven,
like the Ranger.
Raven's probably going to play it, so we'll just wait on Raven to tell us how it is.
Yeah, let us know how it is, because I don't know if I'm going to have time for this, but I definitely want to play it. The Hunter, the Brawler, the Mystic, and the Ranger. And they all have like weapon.
Yeah, it's probably like class type stuff. Like, you know, like the Ranger obviously has ranged attacks, and then the Hunter, maybe guns, who knows? The Brawler, all melee, I don't know. The Mystic, magic, who knows?
Yeah. All right, then.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Next one up is Subnautica Below Zero. I never played a Subnautica, but I know they've been around for quite a long time for their IP. But I mean, it looks cool. But you said it was like a first-person swimmer, I think it was.
First-person swimmer.
What
It has on land and underwater stuff in it, but you spend a lot of time underwater, at least in the first game. I've played a very little, like just like a couple minutes of it, and I've seen some speed runs of it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is actually a pretty popular game. Like it has a pretty big community behind it. But it's kind of like a puzzle game meets a survival game underwater. At least the first one was. This one, Below Zero, it's probably going to be the same type of game. It's just going to be colder now. I don't know. Cold Below Zero. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, Subnautica. Yeah, it's like it's first person. It has a survival mechanic where there's a lot of crafting. Mm-hmm. And you use crafting to basically try to, at least in the first game, you're trying to escape off this planet. So you have to build a bunch of things in order to use computers to build more things, and then you can like fix a ship, and then you get off the planet.
So it's a survival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotta play these games, man.
Yeah. The first one's on sale a lot, and I think it's one of the freebies that PlayStation's giving away right now for their whole like play at home initiative.
I know our Epic Games did the Subnautica freebie. So
yes, they did.
I think that was the first free game that they did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like back when the whole weekly free game thing started, I think that was the very first game.
Yeah, and the thing about this, you can also play it in VR.
Ooh,
oh, okay.
That's cool.
How I know that's because it kept going to my VR headset when I first played it.
I think Joe's going to be sold on just about any game there is now. It's going to be like, here's this game, Joe. It's about painting wildflowers at a magical fairy tale landscape. And Joe's going to be like, that sounds stupid. In VR. Okay, hold on. What? Wait. What? What?
My VR? I'm sold. Hello.
What did you just say to me?
Dude.
What?
Dude, I've been sold on VR for quite a while, ever since I put that Vive headset on. Only because, like, now I have a dedicated rig just for VR, so that way the kids don't have to use my computer. I'm just like, okay, now we have a dedicated one.
Freaking Ben, poop slinging simulator. That sounds dumb. With VR support, you son of a bitch, I'm
Yep. You're going to be monkeying around all over the place with slinging dung.
Just Duke Nukem forever, throwing poop at each other. That's it.
Aside from that, we also got Famicom Detective Club.
Mm-hmm.
Clay, you stated that this one was released only in Japan?
Yeah, so Famicom Detective Club, and this is actually 2 games in one, or it's 2 separate games actually. So there's The Girl Who Stands Behind, and there's another one.
The Missing Heir.
The Missing Heir, yeah. So these games are actually these were released on the Famicom, which is the NES, right? So this is like 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
So of course they don't look all pretty and like this is here, but these are remakes of those games. But these 2 games we never got in America. These were only released in Japan. So for anybody who did want to play those, I mean, obviously this isn't going to be like a 1-to-1 translation of that game's script, but it's going to be like the same type of stories. If you've already played and beat those games, you probably already know the endings of these games. But these are going to be like file these games under like your visual novel or like a Phoenix Wright type game. You are a detective. You're trying to solve a murder or something like that. I never played them because they weren't released in America when I was a kid in the 80s. So I never played them. But oh snap! Yeah. Thank you, BK. Hey, buddy.
Just hit us with the bits.
Oh man,
yeah. The 1 bit.
Yeah.
Hey.
By the way, welcome, BK.
We will take all of it. Indeed. But yeah, no, it's I'm actually excited for this. Nintendo announced this a few months ago during one of their directs, and I was like, oh my god, like I remember that series because I've like read about it in the past, and it's this is definitely going to be a checkout for me. Like I might wait until they're on sale or something like that, which it's a Nintendo owned game, so maybe that'll never happen. But I do want to check these out just because of their.
Do you ever wonder why it is that Nintendo never released these things over here in the US? Because they either thought there wasn't an audience for them, or
well, if you remember, Nintendo in the 80s didn't really know what to do in America. For instance, like Super Mario 2. the example of Super Mario 2 being too hard for us dumb Americans. So
I mean, that's terrible, but then I'd one up them with Contra, so shut up.
Oh, well, yes, and actually, it's kind of funny. So, like, there are some like NES games from back in that time that are actually harder on the American version than in Japan. So,
Yeah,
didn't Nintendo release a strategy guide for Earth 3 or something like that for just the Americans?
So Earthbound 3?
Yes, Earthbound.
Earthbound 3. I thought that was the one that never released here.
Or I'm trying to think of Earthbound itself. I think they released an American strategy guide only here in America and stuff like that. I don't know. I heard a fact of it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So,
but strategy guide for a game back in the like early '90s. When was that released?
Earthbound,
right when it came out.
the first one came out in the mid '80s, like the mid to late '80s. It's a turn-based RPG. Like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, things like that.
But I couldn't see that explanation working now with, okay, why didn't you release this game over there? This doesn't seem like a hard game. It just seems like a time-consuming game. And any game like Phoenix Wright and all that other stuff was just fine and adapted here just as well. So, I mean, this looks like an alternative to that kind of like IP, right? So it's just like, why not?
Yeah. No, but like I said, just because of the history behind these, the fact that we never got them in the 80s, I'm definitely excited for this. This seems like it's going to be cool.
The artwork looks amazing. It almost looks like it's a full anime. But
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you like those style games, like your Phoenix Wrights or pick any number of visual novel game, the nonary games like 999 and.
What would you categorize this game as? Like just a storyteller based game?
Visual novel. So like in Phoenix, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of reading and puzzle solving. That's basically what Phoenix Wright games are, and they're great. I love them. The 999 games, they're like those as well. A lot of reading. 999 is a little more, or the nonary games as they're called. Those are a little more punishing because they'll just game over you, like if you make one wrong decision. But yeah, there's I would put these in line with those types of games.
Gotcha. All righty. Let's go on to the last one for game releases this week. Finally, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. We're finally going to be able to get all the frames and the bump mappings and the lighting. And ooh, look at this.
Man.
It's amazing. I don't know
Dr. Liara Tassoni. Hello.
It looks like they made a couple of different like UI changes as well. They also made some changes to like the third person distance. You could tell here. I don't know if that has to do with like your aspect ratio on your monitor and whatnot.
Well, yeah, so one of the which they've released all sorts of articles and blog posts about this. But basically, if you ever played the Mass Effect games, which I've been through all three of them plus Andromeda, I love the series. I love this franchise. It's awesome. One was vastly different from 2 and 3. Like one.
Just from the game.
If you've never played them before, like they are third-person shooter type games. One, it's like they were still trying to figure out the game or like what they wanted to do with it. So when 2 came out, 2 basically turned it into a cover-based third-person shooter, and it was great. And then 3 just kind of upped the ante on that one a little bit. 1 was a little more clunky because, like I said, it wasn't really that focused. So what they did was for these Legendary Edition, they kind of retrofitted 1 with that kind of gunplay, which is great.
Yeah.
So now 1 is going to feel like a more modern game than it did when it first launched. But yeah, these games are awesome. I've been through all of them. I think they're great. I own all of them. If you are a Game Pass subscriber, Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, they come with EA Play. So you could play 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is Andromeda. You could play those right now. They're not the Legendary Edition, which is this one where it's all new, super fancy looking and everything like that. But the originals are still solid games.
Yeah.
If anything, I'm crazy excited about for this is bug fixes. 1, 2, and 3 are buggy games. they have problems. So I'm hoping that they do a lot of bug fixing on this newer version of it. But I will say Mass Effect is awesome. It has a great storyline, awesome characters. It does the whole like dialogue system where you can like change the way your character acts around people, and it changes things in the game. And the coolest part about Mass Effect, if you ask me, I don't know about you guys. I'll stop after this, I promise. They all use the same save file. So when you play Mass Effect 1, which this Mass Effect Legendary Edition, it's 1, 2, and 3. It's 3 games in 1. When you play Mass Effect 1 and you start it out, you are playing as Shepard, who is your like main character here. You make decisions through the game. People live, people die. You piss off certain people. You make friends with other people. You do all that stuff. When you start 2, it eats that same save file. And it says, okay, now 2's world is being regenerated based on those decisions. Kind of like when you play like the Witcher games.
So it's a continuous like story, right?
Yeah.
Based on your decisions. But I remember back in the day when you and I were doing this is that there was some sort of uproar too, that either some of the save games people were getting crashes, or it didn't properly like take the save game, and then people were making like generators for save games based on those decisions because of it, and it was just a mess. And I don't know if that was there was also some other thing about like 3 not taking any of the save games.
Okay. I'll say this. I don't know about that because I played them on the 360 and I never had problems.
Gotcha.
At least with the saves. Like I said, they are buggy games, but I never had issues with my save files on the 360. I don't know if that was a PC thing.
It's possible.
But there were save file generators for the PC, which were really cool. I actually saw a few of them like back then when it first came out, where it's like they know what all decisions need to be made to generate like a perfect Mass Effect save file. So, and it just takes you to like a GUI, and you go like, this person lived, this person died, this conversation went this way, whatever. And then you just hit save and it spits you out a save file.
That's crazy.
Which is great because then you can use that right in 2. But 2 and 3 also have a thing where in the beginning of the game, and if you, like I said, if you played the Witcher games on console, the PC versions had this also built into it, but especially for console people, Witcher 1 never released on console. We only had 2 and 3. So, and 2 and 3 didn't use the same save file like it does on the PC. Right. So even in the beginning of the game, you can basically answer some questions and it'll kind of generate that world for you. Actually, like the ending of Mass Effect 1, which doesn't I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I will say the final save that you get in Mass Effect 1 doesn't even happen at the end of the game. There's still like 20 minutes of gameplay afterwards. So when 2 starts, it's like they kind of forgot about that. So when 2 starts, they sit you down and they're like, hey, what happened at the end of that?
That's kind of like just to fill you in on the or fill them in on your actions that you would have taken.
So because like I said, that save file doesn't account for the entire ending. So like when you beat Mass Effect 1, it's like you have a save file and then you play like 20 more minutes of the game and then the credits roll and then the game just restarts.
Oh,
but it
thanks,
doesn't
BK. BK cheered.
Hey,
Get up, BK.
Damn, BK starting it over now.
Sounds like they just basically started making Mass Effect 2 before they made the ending of Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, it's like, so when you start Mass Effect 2, even if you import your save file into it, it's like there are still unanswered questions about what happened at the end of 1 because the game doesn't save at the end of the game. It saves before the end of the game. So even that they're going to be like, oh, hey, you were there at the end of whatever happened back here, like spoiler warning. And you'd be like, yeah, I was there. And they'd be like, what happened at the end of that? And then you're like, oh, this thing happened.
But now, even if you didn't do that, that becomes your truth for that playthrough, right? So
yeah. So but they
Mass Effect. I would assume that Mass Effect is one of those games where it's just like you have to play it from the beginning to really appreciate the entire.
You will be lost if you just decide. You know what? I'm just going to play 3. Right. You will have no clue what's going on. Like these games, like I said, they have an awesome storyline. And like the universe is big too. There's novels based on these, or comic books. Like there was a cell phone game. Like there's a whole lot of stuff to this universe. You don't have to know all that stuff. If you just start with 1, it'll set you on the right track.
So do you think that EA, and this is outside of game releases, do you think that EA is planning to just do a reboot based off of the adoption for this Legendary Edition, just to see how the
Well, if you remember, and this was, I want to say, the Game Awards last year, or E3 or something, or the Summer Game Fest or something like that last year. I forgot what it was.
Right.
They announced the Legendary Edition, and they also announced another Mass Effect game. There was a teaser trailer, which is 20 seconds long or something like that, for a new Mass Effect
But
game.
I thought that was supposed to be after the events of 3.
So I'm not going to spoil anything.
I mean,
if you want to look up the ending of Mass Effect 3,
how long has
go
it
right
been,
ahead.
though? Like,
there are Mass Effect 3 has a very controversial ending to it.
yeah, because some people thought it was dumb.
It has 3 endings that you can choose which one you want to do. I've done all 3 of them. They're all 3 dumb. But like after the events of 3, yeah. So like if this new Mass Effect game takes place after the events of 3, I'm all in because I'm dying to know what happens. Like, or is one of those endings now canon, and the other 2 are not?
Who knows? But that's like
EA knows. That's it.
I can only relate the ending of Mass Effect to be just as bad as the Matrix games ending. That was terrible.
Which one?
The one where you have Agent Smith as a giant Agent Smith.
That's
oh no,
Path of Neo.
Oh
yeah.
My God, it was terrible. And I was just like, this is nothing like the movie. Understandably, the movie ends in kind of lackluster as well.
If you remember, they make fun of that in the game. There's even a cutscene before that boss fight.
But it wasn't good enough. I was just like, come on, man. This whole entire game was super serious, and now you're going to add some campy stuff at the very end of the game? I just didn't like it. I love the games. I just didn't like that.
I get it. But yeah, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, if you've never played Mass Effect, do it. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to game news, because I'm pretty sure you're going to want to know the nice little details about Discord and how they just swapped out from Xbox over to Sony.
Yep.
This is getting good. This is getting really good.
We don't know what happened. Okay, only Discord and Sony and Microsoft know what happened. But if you remember, Microsoft was in talks to purchase Discord. It was like $11 billion or something like that. It was something crazy. Discord turned down the deal because they said they were going to focus on developing their company and going public, which means they're going to make their $11 billion easy. Like that's like they don't need Microsoft's $11 billion. Yeah. Sony gives a good head. Yeah. I mean, whatever, like, sure. But this was a great move for Discord. And I'm sure Sony didn't have I don't think Sony was involved with Discord leaving Microsoft as much as people are thinking. Or Discord was like, screw you, Microsoft, we're going to go to your main competitor now. No, it was probably Discord wanted to build themselves up as their own company, not just be under Microsoft.
Hold on. BK, is your account hacked? Because we're getting a lot of bits, man.
Maybe we should start talking about soccer games for a while. I don't know. FIFA, bros. Am I right? PES. Let's do this.
All of a sudden, right? Pew, 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 pew.
Just bits all over. Just raining, showering bits because we're talking about soccer games.
Yeah.
I like soccer games. So Discord wanted to build their own company instead of just being under somebody else. Sony came in and said, we hear you, bros. Here's some investment money for you all to build yourself.
I think you are absolutely right. I think what happened is because Microsoft is known to gobble things up and then just do away with the original makers of things and just go their own plan. They were like, no, dudes, we want to still keep being Discord as our own entity, but you guys are just asking for too much percentage in the company. And then Sony, well, not only that, but the gamer feedback was unanimous. Was like, I was kind of like the only one who was just like, I mean, it's going to benefit everyone if Microsoft does it because they're on a train of like, hey, let's do crossplay with everyone. I'll do crossplay with you. I do crossplay with you. So we'll just make it work.
As evil as everybody, says Microsoft is, they're doing video games way better than Sony right now. Okay. Like they are doing video game industry way better than Sony. Okay. Like,
but Discord's goal is
Yeah.
to just be the platform, no matter where you go, and still be able to have freedom and control. Because if you notice, like a lot of their messaging in any of their things isn't like corporate blah 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 blah. We have to do this because of this legalities. Their messaging on even like terms of service is hilarious, and they just want to have that level of freedom to be able to continue for that stuff. But then I can understand how Sony's all like, we gotta slow Microsoft down because they doing too much. You know what I mean? And it's gonna hurt us. And we might as well like partner with them, create some little app to make it so that way it's still gonna benefit Microsoft because they have the whole PC space. It'll just hurt on the console space because there is no app. Right?
Yeah. I will say it was surprising that Sony did this. And not just because of the way everything fell out with Microsoft, but the fact that Sony did this, and they want to integrate with Discord, and they said they're going to have something like Q1 next year or something like that.
Right.
That's awesome. That's great. Sony's not, and we're going to get to this here in a few minutes with another story. Sony's not the friendliest company when it comes to crossplay. So why they're investing in a company that would help gamers crossplay better with other systems? It's kind of like,
that is kind of weird. Like, why would you invest on something that you are clearly against? You live off of your PlayStation exclusives. You do the exact same thing as Microsoft does, gobbling up a whole bunch of studios, and then you just wait for their content to bring more people to buy your products.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I was just kind of like, that's odd.
This is kind of a win-win situation for gamers, though, because on the Sony PlayStation side, I mean, voice chat for any crossplay will be so much easier that it will just live in one space.
This only helps crossplay. Like, this is a good move here. Like if Sony's trying to move away from their past few years of like anti-crossplay, that's good. This is a good first step for that. Because if you can enable Discord party chats or something like that, then I have Outriders on the PS5. Now I can play and chat with you on the PC.
And now Sony developers don't have to worry about, putting more effort into communications and just focus on game. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, cool. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, chat. I welcome it either way. I would have preferred it be on Xbox, so that way it's just like Microsoft is just destroying them.
Microsoft, because of all of this turnout, Microsoft should already be in talks with Discord to be like, look, okay, the buyout didn't work, but now how do we get Discord on Xbox?
Yeah, and it can't be that hard because this is, if you notice, Discord is not really an app. This sucker is literally like a web page, an interactive web page in a shell.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their web page version of the app, it's exactly the same. So it shouldn't be that hard, especially now that, they're trying to do a lot of cloud stuff. I would want to see what the integration like that would look like. Because the one thing that cloud kind of suffers with is communications in the first place. Because you can't do voice chat as seamless on cloud as what you can do it on a local console. Right. All right, let's move on. Epic Game Store. We're gonna get into some more legalese here because So this kind of seems a little odd. That I know it was kind of happening, but Epic Game Store paid a lot for Borderlands 3 exclusive and made it back fast. So this what we're about to go into for everybody is, if you all didn't know, we talked about this a few months ago. I know we've all voiced our opinions on it and everything. The Apple and Epic lawsuit started earlier this week on Monday morning. Yeah. And already there is dirty laundry airing all over the place right now. Like, all of these legal documents are all surfacing all over the place about the way Epic does things, the way Apple does things, and the way they all work with Sony and Microsoft. And I think it is awesome. This is all very fascinating stuff. like if you follow the games industry like I do, it's this is all crazy stuff. So the example on this article here is, they paid $146 million upfront.
Yeah. to get Borderlands 3 as an Epic Game Store exclusive. Now, everybody, like, either you like the Epic Game Store or you hate it, or anything that's not Steam is the devil or anything like that, whatever. When Borderlands, or when Epic Game Store nails an exclusive, like they had Borderlands 3, they have Shenmue 3, they had they've done it on a ton of games over the past 3 years. But it's like this document came out that shows, like they paid 146 million just to get Borderlands off of Steam, and they made it all back super fast. And you'd be like, wow, that's a lot of money. And it's like, yeah, and people really wanted that game, and they showed they were willing to pay for it because they made it back. Like, that's crazy.
That is
like
nuts.
That was profitable for Epic, not as much as they were probably hoping, but with Fortnite just endlessly dumping money into their bank anyway, it doesn't really matter, right?
In a way, any sort of percentage that you can steal from Steam is going to be quite substantial for anyone trying to build a brand new community of gamers logging into your services. So, yeah, I don't know. I think they did a lot.
46 million. Jeez.
I think they did great with the holiday giveaways that they were doing every single day. I think that brought me into solidifying the client on my computer. But then at the same time, like, Good Old Games was already working on implementation for their Galaxy for all these clients. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm still going to buy from whoever has the cheapest. But is my mic distorted?
Who's telling you that?
Damn it, it's dark. He's gonna get
every week,
every time.
Every week, Zero's gonna jump in that chat and be like, "Joe, I can hear Clay just fine, but I can't hear you." And you're gonna be like, "Wait, hold on, what? What's going on, Public? What?"
Because then I'm just like, check, 1, 2.
Check. Come quats. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, he says he wasn't trolling me, but like, Clay, you could hear me when I was playing the demo of Resident Evil Village.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. Okay, so Mel's streaming the Castle and Village demos that were available, to PCs last week, and so we're watching her go through this, and Zero's like, your volume is too low or whatever, and I was like,
I believe it's the game volume,
or something like that, and I was like, I heard it fine, like I didn't have any problems at all, and I was like, maybe it's you, bro, because like you seem to have an awful lot of audio issues, and it's like,
keep
are you
trolling?
Yeah.
This guy.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was.
He's gonna get me every time because I'm just like, no, I hear myself just fine, man. What's failing?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
But yeah, for Epic Games, more power to them. I think there was another article that I don't think it's on here, but talking about Tim Sweeney not being able to tell the difference between certain consoles or having problems in some sort of court deposition. That he was just like, yeah, I don't know what that is. Like, can you point out? Can you point out like a Switch or something like that? No, he's just like, I couldn't. And I was just like, what? But at the same time, he is rich to not have to know those kind of things.
I read that one, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like I didn't read that, but you would think, given that Epic makes tons of money off of console games, like Fortnite is on Switch, it is on PS4, Xbox, everything. It's like, you would think that Gears of War 360, right? Like that was an exclusive. You would think he's just like,
but he's not a developer though. He's completely off hands with that company as far as like the technical aspects of things. He's done. He's already like just spending his money.
Well, then the world needs more Reggie Fils-Aimés then. Okay, Reggie, because that guy is endlessly on Twitter talking about games he's playing and stuff that he's like, oh yeah, like I went through that 20 years ago when it came out, and I had that in college and stuff.
Reggie is my dad, and he's a different breed. Okay.
Yes,
he
Reggie's
loves
amazing.
Those games. He plays, and he can hold a conversation with people about most games on Nintendo and some games outside of those consoles. So, which
is good. If you ever go to YouTube and just pull up like Reggie on like Jimmy Fallon or Conan O'Brien, like whenever he does things like that, it's like, like he knows how to talk games, which is good.
It's crazy, right? Like You don't ever get to see that too often. Usually you see suits and you're automatically like, oh, pie charts and,
graphs.
Yeah. Sales. They don't really care about that stuff. I guess EA has just gotten a bad taste in our mouth since then, but it's just like you don't ever get to see that genuine guy who's just like, dude, we're about the games, bro.
Look, as far as EA goes, I just want Peter Moore to come back so we can have more tattoos. That's it. Okay, that's all I want.
Yeah,
I want E3 2021's EA's press conference, and then Peter Moore rolls out with like Mass Effect 5. And then people are going to be like, "Oh yeah, Peter Moore's back." Yeah. That's what I want as far as EA is concerned. Yeah. So more court case stuff.
More court case stuff.
As we were talking earlier about Sony buying into Discord and how that's an odd move because it kind of opens up the crossplay conversations. Yeah, apparently when Epic reached out to Sony to enable crossplay for Fortnite, because if you remember, Fortnite was crossplay on everything except the PlayStation. Apparently Sony charges for that. Like that's the thing. Microsoft doesn't, Nintendo doesn't, which is crazy to think that both of those companies don't. But yeah, apparently in order to enable crossplay for Fortnite on the PlayStation, Sony charges a fee for that. And the reason for that is because there's no locked-in guarantee that when you buy your Fortnite V-Bucks, that you're going through the PlayStation Store so they get their cut.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That's it. Like that's where the line is drawn. So, which is kind of ironic given this whole court case thing about people getting their cut directly, But it's like,
dude, literally, it's like mob boss material. Like, hey, you coming into our turf? There's a fee.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be playing Fortnite crossplay on the PS4, and it's free. It's a free game, right? Mm-hmm. It is a free game that's microtransaction supported. But there's no guarantee that when you buy your V-Bucks, you're doing it on the PlayStation Store. You could just go straight to, on your phone and buy them on your phone. Or you can buy them on the Switch eShop or something like that.
That's the whole point. Is that you're able to buy all this stuff wherever you want. That only benefits the creator of the game. But then you want to lock it down to, oh, hey, if you want to use crossplay, we're going to have to charge you a little bit. Make you lose something. It was like, come on, dude.
Yeah, basically, Sony requires a money guarantee that people will be buying, V-Bucks through the PlayStation Store. Which I was like, wow, even Microsoft and Nintendo didn't care about that. And Nintendo will nickel and dime you
for anything.
Forever. I was like, wow, man, this really makes Sony look like a bunch of dirtbags.
You know how weird this sounds? Because it's almost identical to Apple's whole situation where they don't want streaming games to be on there because it's not forcing them to do any payment or any purchases through their payment system, which is Apple Pay.
Yeah.
So it's like, so they're not allowed on your platform. One, under the guise that it's the technology is streaming and we can't control any of the content that's on there, but secretly it's because we're not getting it through our pay system. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
we know what it's like, and the people who are joining up for streaming, they know what they're gonna get as far as content. Nobody's gonna sue you for it. But whatever, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Money, money, money.
That's what I'm saying. These are corporations. That's what it all comes down to, right?
So these are the things that we're finding out from the court cases, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you're
so these are all like this, and actually, this and the next story actually are both more Sony, more Sony, more Sony. There's the link. Okay, yeah. So I just saw this one this morning. Apparently, in previous talks between Epic Games and Sony, the Epic offered Sony up to $200 million for a bunch of PC exclusive games. So if you remember when Sony released Horizon Zero Dawn on PC, which was a very smart move. Like Sony should be looking to do this with all of their franchises, but basically, Epic wanted their exclusivity, kind of like what they did with Borderlands 3. So they reached out to Sony and said, "Hey, $200 million, 4 to 6 titles." It doesn't say which ones. It could be Spider-Man. It could be God of War. It could be Infamous. Who knows? But it would be $200 million. $200 million for 4 to 6 titles of Epic Game Store exclusivity. So like, let's say Sony does announce that they want to bring Spider-Man to PC, which they should. If they were to do that, Epic could swoop in and say, yo dog, here's that check, and then Spider-Man is now an Epic Game Store exclusive.
Holy crap.
But yeah, so if you look at the document on here, it says, yeah, like offer extended, awaiting feedback. And then there's even stuff in here about Microsoft and Nintendo doing the same kind of thing. The internal feedback from Microsoft is PC Game Pass leader is against what we're doing. They're effectively bidding against us for content. And Phil Spencer, who's the top dog at Xbox, Phil is meeting with Gabe at Valve occasionally. So they're basically saying Microsoft, we're not that worried about Microsoft, and Nintendo, not started. This is a moonshot onto itself. Corporate history says non-starter. So like they've already given up on trying to get Nintendo games on PC. But the Sony, they said offer extended. They're awaiting reply. Maybe in the next year you're going to see Spider-Man, or because so Horizon happened and Days Gone happened, right? Like those are both on PC. But yeah, maybe the new Ratchet and Clank game, or maybe Jack and Daxter.
So is this,
who knows?
Is this directly connected to the fact of those 2 releases already being announced?
We don't know. Well, so Days Gone, is that on Steam?
Let me check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's wow. So then.
But like, this is more stuff just like Borderlands, where Epic is throwing money out there to be like, hey, we want those PC games exclusive.
But PC games to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store.
Right. Not on Steam.
And that makes it weird, because there was another news article about Steam. I don't know if you saw it, how they're trying to break them up as having the highest foothold on all the PC gaming market. And they're trying to like see how they can regulate that or something like that. And I'm just like, dude, Epic was just, or Steam was just being who they are, and nobody wanted to tie into that until all of a sudden it was super profitable for everyone, because everybody was always like on the whole pirating thing. So it's like, now you see that Steam is making a lot of money and they were the only ones there. Of course you're going to want a cut of that.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
and I'm going to update on this. Days Gone will be on Steam on May 18th.
Okay.
So maybe that exclusivity didn't pan out.
Is it currently on Epic Game Store?
I was just on Epic website. So.
Yeah.
Next time, I'm just curious. Obviously, the game hasn't been on PC for a year, so it's like, maybe if it is a timed exclusive or something like that, I wouldn't think it's been that long.
Pre-purchase starting at $49.99. It is not available right now.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
It should be available on both Steam and Epic, both on May 18th.
Oh, okay. So it's not even out on PC yet. I thought it was for some reason, but yeah.
So why do you think that Epic Game
It's not that good. It's okay. It's not that good of a game.
Yeah, it's not going to be the greatest game, but then for what was it? The other game, Dawn. What
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, that game looks amazing, and I've heard only but good things from that game. I
have heard only good things for that game. I've never played it. I hear it's amazing. I hear the PC version was kind of crappy at launch, but I hear they fixed it, so that's good. But yeah, it's Horizon Zero Dawn is supposed to be awesome. I should play it at some point. It
seems like a lot of moves are happening right now.
Yeah. Horizon Zero Dawn, if you have a PlayStation, it's free. Just go in and grab it, but whatever.
Do you want to continue on with some Sony and Xbox stuff, or do you want to move on to our cloud-based stuff first? Right after this, because we have a Stadia product head leaves.
Yeah, let's go to the Xbox one, because that's going to finish out the Apple Epic stuff.
Well, I think, are you talking about this one?
Xbox Game Pass?
This one? The Xbox Live Gold going free, and Xbox Game Pass for other consoles and emails, and Epic Tim Sweeney. Is this the one? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the last part about this. So this is just the first week of this lawsuit, right? Like now that it's in court, this is just week 1, and we've already got all this crap going on here. So this is going to be interesting. But yeah, the last little tidbit on here, this is something that we've known about for quite some time about Microsoft wanting Xbox Game Pass. Now that it has cloud streaming, they want it on more. They have Android, iOS is now beta testing. We showed that off last week, and they want more. Can you put it on a Switch? Can you put it on a PlayStation? Can you put it? It's like, how else can we feed people Xbox? Because if you remember, Xbox, like Microsoft loses money on Xbox hardware. Like they sell those at a loss because they make everything back on game licensing and especially Game Pass. So put it on a fridge. Exactly. That Xbox Series X fridge. It's awesome. But yeah, like apparently Phil Spencer is still in these talks. That's what this doc says. Like he is still gauging interest on getting Xbox Game Pass out on more devices. The cloud streaming thing is great. I've used it on my phone. We tried the iPad thing last week. That was kind of tragic. But man, if I could just put that on my Switch, that'd be awesome. Like that would just be another avenue for you to be able to do that.
Well, Switch doesn't have a native browser on it, right?
It doesn't, but it could be an app.
Right.
You know, like granted, Nintendo would have to like open that up, right?
Yeah.
But you could download kind of like on Android where it's its own app.
Yeah. And
like
if you thought Apple was hard on freaking content control and everything, you should see how Nintendo is with their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You barely get like any mature games on on Switch just from them releasing alone. I think like I've seen only a handful of mature games on Switch when I was looking to buy it for some of the kids. But I was just like, damn, dude. The only one I cared about was, I think it was Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. Both of them were on there now.
They're both on there, but if you remember, they're streamed.
Yeah.
So like when you play Doom on the Switch, it's a cloud streamed game. It's not like the actual local game is installed. Yeah, because it's not powerful enough for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Microsoft is still trying to get Game Pass out there on other devices, which I'm all for. Love Game Pass. I would tell anybody to buy Game Pass. It's awesome.
Freaking nuts, man.
Yeah.
All this stuff is happening right now, and it's just like, man, I wonder what more tidbits we're gonna get out of this lawsuit.
That's why I'm saying that. It's like this is just the first week from this court case. This started 5 days ago, or 6 days ago on Monday. This is only 6 days of stuff, but we're already seeing all this. Like, how long is this going to go on for? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Cloud gaming. This isn't even that big of a story, or it's not even that important or anything. But I just thought it was funny. John Justice, who is the VP in charge of Google Stadia, has left the company. This is like,
who's going with me?
Surprise.
So like, Google closed down all of their internal game development. They had a bunch of games that they were creating specifically for Stadia. Mm-hmm. They shut down all of those game studios. There was a big thing last week about this because like Jade Raymond, who's this game designer, she was working on some of these games, and then she went off and just started her own game development studio, which is awesome because she's very talented. But like, then you got this VP guy. There was another thing that said like 6 more like Stadia engineers just left, and it's like, all right, do we have like an over under? Like how long is Google going to keep this thing going?
Well,
like Resident Evil Village is on Stadia. That just came out. That's a big game. Maybe they're making some money off that, but like, is anybody starting to get a little skeptical about Stadia, or even more skeptical about Stadia? Like this is kind of crazy to me.
So I think what's happening here, it's not that yes, very well Stadia could be dying, right? Mm-hmm. It's already, the user base is already dwindling to whatever digits that they have right there. But then it kind of makes sense why they wouldn't have game developers on Stadia. And a lot of their business model is just getting third-party studios to be on their system.
Yes, but if they were ever hoping for any kind of like Nintendo or Sony-esque exclusivity, like, hey, Assassin's Creed 18 is exclusive to Stadia, like whatever game that they're making, like some new game comes out and it's amazing and it's only on Stadia. Like that's gone now. You know, unless they have a third-party developer out there making an exclusive game,
True.
which could be the case.
Yeah. I just look at Google and I'm like, first, you're not very good at marketing. Okay. It never have been. The only things that people buy from you are things that are being promoted by some other company like Samsung, which just happens to have Android on their phones.
Yeah.
And then 2, you don't have a good track record of keeping things alive that sound amazing, and then because of that, marketing ends up dying, and then people rather not invest their time into your services.
Yeah.
We use it for everything else. Gmail, all that other stuff, Drive, Sync, everything. We use all that stuff, Google Maps. But it's just like, that's just because it comes on the phone. You know what I mean? It's like, you're not selling a feature here that we're just like, oh, must have Google stuff. The Chromecast is amazing.
I love Chromecast.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, I think that's one of the best things that ever happened on for entertainment at my house, because that was the first time that I was able to cut, cable.
Yeah.
Everything just went through my modem. I was done. I didn't want to pay for channels streaming 24/7 for content that I barely was going to watch.
Yeah.
But then it's just like marketing, man. Just suck at it.
I hear it.
Because it's like people don't know. Like, do you know that Google has a remote desktop service? No? Yeah.
They do?
Yeah, they do. They have a remote desktop service. And all you have to do is install Chrome, install this small plugin, and you're able to remote from anywhere in the world for free.
Damn.
No like router configurations or nothing like that. Secured with PIN, 2-factor, and everything. It's just like complete. That's how I remote into all my family members' computers. That's how awesome that thing is. But where's the marketing for it? Right? Nobody knows that this thing exists.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's right. Number sees that too.
Yeah.
It's amazing because and then not only that, if you thought that was crazy, there's a freaking phone app for it, so that way you can just remote in from your phone.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm like,
be lazy and turn off your computer.
How crazy would it be to be like, hey, we're gonna stick a really good promoting like a marketing team or whatever for all this kind of stuff, instead of just campy little 30-second. Do you remember one of the worst ones of commercials that I've seen from Google was for Google Plus? All you saw on the commercial was just, we're the social network, try Google Plus. There was no.
I remember
about them.
I totally remember that commercial because it was all about your circles.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I remember
family members and how you can organize it. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like super fun, but what can I do with it?
I forgot Google Plus was a thing until just now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if people would have,
for everybody else out there, Google Plus was Google's version of Facebook, and it did not last long.
So,
not even a year.
It had great concept because like you can organize it and it would sync up to all the Android devices that you had. You were able to organize your friends. Even your contact list would reflect how you organized on Google Plus, all your photos and everything. They were going to have Google Photos integration, but it was just like, you're just tossing money at something that you don't even know how to market.
Yeah.
But I'm not a marketing expert. I just know what drives me to something. When I see like On Live, and their marketing scheme was just like amazing. They had like marketing for like play any game, and then later on features will be like you and a friend can play, and you're going to be able to see their screen on your screen in a little picture-to-picture. And I was just like, oh, that's cool because I'm going to be able to do all that stuff. Or like Twitch integration with some sort of cloud service. Like, wow, now I don't need like an Uber 2 PC setup to be able to run this stuff.
On Live was great.
Yeah,
man, that was a cool little thing.
Yeah, it was.
I like that. Yeah. Oh,
back in my day.
Back in my day. Yeah.
The downside, it doesn't have file transfer. No, it does not. You can't transfer files from that RDP, the Google Chrome remote desktop service. But so Stadia, another dying service.
We shall see.
We shall see. But
Yeah.
then it also makes me wonder, like, what is Amazon gonna do differently for their streaming service that's coming?
Oh, for Luna.
Yeah.
The only
does.
thing I've seen different is their pricing model. Is like that's so far it's just it's the AWS version of Google Stadia, right? But it's
Right.
like the way their subscription deal is different from Stadia, and also the way they're partnering with other people. So like if you remember, it's already live, even though it's still like early access. It's like
Right.
they have that Ubisoft channel where it's like you pay like $5 for Luna, and then you pay $5 for Ubisoft, and then you get like the Ubisoft catalog of
Right.
games,
Right.
which are cloud streamable. So it's like they're doing it kind of like a subscription, which is good because you're not just wasting your money on games like on Stadia.
Yeah, and that doesn't even make sense to me. Like you're gonna pay to get an actual copy on Stadia, but then the whole point is for you to use it on Stadia. You won't get a copy on anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not,
so
it's not like NVIDIA, where NVIDIA knocked it out of the park by saying, hey, log into your Ubisoft, log into your Steam. We're going to see what you have. And then if there's some match for something that we have, you just get access to it.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was like, yes.
That's
But,
cool.
Again, marketing, not so great.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Let's go on to the next one. Another Sony article about
This is the last Sony article, okay? This one, I just thought it was kind of funny, so I put it out there anyway. And Sony is being sued, or Sony, a class action lawsuit has been opened up against Sony. Back a few years ago, you used to be able to buy PlayStation Network codes for games on other websites. Like you could go to like Amazon and say, I want a copy of Spider-Man Miles Morales. And then you would buy a digital code, which worked on the PlayStation Store. Sony turned that off a couple years ago. Like back in 2019, they basically said, we're going to end our third-party code stuff. So if you want to buy something from the PlayStation Store, it has to go through the PlayStation Store. Okay. They're being sued because of that. This lawsuit has come out saying Sony has a monopoly on Sony content.
What?
What?
It's their stuff. It's Sony-owned content. You want to buy something to work on a PlayStation, and you have to go through Sony to do that. And that's a monopoly.
Who's the one filing this?
I was.
What?
Yeah.
Look, if I wanted to buy.
Look. Here's where all the logic is, okay? The second sentence in this article on Polygon. The lawsuit was filed Wednesday night in a California court. There you go. California.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. All right.
Those
whiny ass California people.
Those damn Californians with their lawsuits.
I tell you. But I was just like, I just thought that was so silly. I was like, it's their stuff though. Like wait. What? How is it a monopoly when it's all PlayStation? It's like I don't know. I just thought it was really
the only thing I can see here is possibly like people who have purchased these kind of things in the past or have yet to redeem them will be SOL, right?
That, or part of this article, if you read it, talks about how basically one of the cases for this is that Sony will charge more through the PlayStation Store than if you were to buy that digital code for it separately.
You can't sue somebody for something that has yet to happen.
But yeah, so like, let's say you wanted to buy Spider-Man Miles Morales. It is, the digital code for that is like $60 on the PlayStation Store. Amazon reseller guy could sell it to you for $40. And so he's like, well, that's just it's Sony's monopolies because they want more money. And it's like, but it's still a Sony product.
So we're talking
on a Sony product.
We're talking about websites that sell codes to stuff at a discount price because they probably got it stolen somewhere and was able to activate it, or it's the same sites. It's the same sites that give you like a Windows 10 key for $15.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's and I don't even think with this class action lawsuit that it's anything malicious like stolen keys or whatever that like what's that stupid stolen key website everybody that 2GA or something like that
deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Like
you got
it's
King One, 2GA, yeah,
but it's like I don't think it's even anything like that. I think maybe this person, whoever filed this class action lawsuit, maybe they were like an Amazon reseller. And they were making money off this. Like, let's say they bought 200 keys for Spider-Man Miles Morales back in 2019, even though the game wasn't out then. But like, let's say they bought all those keys at a super low price because Sony would let you do that. And then he would resell those at a higher price point, so he would get a profit off that. So he's probably just butthurt that Sony turned that off.
Okay.
And it's like that sucks, and maybe that leaves a bad taste in your mouth for Sony, but you're literally selling something that the company has, like it's their product that only works on another one of their products. Yeah. And it's like, that's not really a monopoly.
Yeah. You didn't make a deal with them to be all like, now look, you're going to have to sell this amount of quantity for us to be able to get those for us to be able to sell you those keys. You didn't have like a contract with them that it wasn't going to expire until a certain date. Like you just bought them at a high risk for high reward, which is how shit works around here. You know what I mean? Like,
do they know the definition of monopoly? Is the question.
That's why I was like, I don't think monopoly is the right word for this. Like, I think
I don't think that's.
You keep using that word.
I do
not think it means what you think. Yeah. I think this is more of just Sony retaking ownership of their product. Like, I don't really see this as being like I don't see this going anywhere. But
I like how they
they
put it in quotes, monopoly.
That's why I was just like, this is just very strange to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
All
right, let's move on to our last one for this week. Unless Mel or Clay, is there one that I missed?
No, you didn't miss it.
I'm checking. Okay. You're good.
You're set, bud.
How about my audio?
You talked to Joe about that. What?
Did you say something, Joe? I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Hello?
I think this was related to an article that we talked about last week.
So, power of the people, right? Like, this got such bad press that it was rolled back. So last week we talked about this, about Humble Bundle basically changing the way. So Humble Bundle, if you've ever been there in the past, you want to buy a game, they usually come in packs, and like, packs of 5, packs of 12, whatever. You buy a PC game pack, and then because it's charity themed, you could adjust where your money goes. So you could say, like, out of a $10 purchase, I want 9 of it to go to this charity, and then 50 cents goes to Humble Bundle, and 50 cents goes to whoever the game publisher is.
Pause a second, though. I want to make sure that this disclaimer is on there. Who owns Humble Bundle now?
IGN.com.
Okay, I just want to make sure that
the worst video gaming website in the history of the internet.
Proceed.
Yeah. So then they announced a new feature, like branding it like something that the world wanted, which we didn't. Basically, nobody wanted this. IGN wanted this because they wanted to be able to give game publishers more money. That way they could secure more like exclusive content, which is basically how that company works.
Right.
But yeah, so they introduced a new feature where they were going to change the donation sliders to where you could either, and I would have to go back and read the other article about this. It was like you can only give like a maximum of like 8% to the charity, and everything else goes to the game publisher. And it was like, okay, like that's a terrible idea because it's supposed to be a charity thing. Why would you limit the charity?
Yeah.
So apparently this got a huge backlash, not only from us, but like, which we talked about last week, but apparently a lot of people were super pissed about that. So they just, I'm only kidding.
Hey, hey guys, not real.
Hey, I'm just kidding, guys. Come on.
It was a late April Fool's joke.
It was an out of season April Fool's joke, like
Yeah.
Diablo Immortal. You know,
Please love us still.
Yeah.
Love you.
They rolled it back. Oops, our bad. Sorry about that. That's good. It's very good to see that. If you remember, like Microsoft did the same thing a couple months ago. They were talking about like doubling the price of like Xbox Live, and the next day it was like, okay, sorry, stop throwing rotten potatoes at us. Okay, sorry, but it's like
Stop writing bad reviews on good games.
Yeah,
it's not their fault.
I mean, like. They should have seen this coming. I mean, like I said, IGN doesn't really know anything about video games anyway. So like, this was very like, wow, really? Did you all think this was going to go over smooth?
I just want to know, like, I'm not the type of person for cancel culture as it is anyway, but I just want to meet that one person who was just like, thought that this was a good idea.
Oh, it was probably some executive who
Sure,
deals directly with game publishers, and they were probably pissed off, and they were like, bro, you just gave away like 20,000 copies of this game that's still selling very well, and we're losing all that money, so we're not going to give you any more games unless you change this. And it was like, that's usually how these things work.
Do they not understand what charity is or the word humble? Humble at all?
Charity. Yeah,
right.
It's
like the whole point of this website. Yes, we get to have pretty cheap games at the understanding that the publisher also knows that, and that we're giving to charity because of it.
Yeah. Like I said, this was expected, and I'm kind of surprised IGN was smart enough to actually roll this back, because their website's pretty tragic anyway.
Oh, I think they've learned after the years of their own website just getting bombarded with hate. Oh my god!
And it's unfortunate that they're so popular. It's like they still get all that great exclusive content all the time. So it's like it's not like you can just ignore IGN, or if you do, you're missing out on something. So it's like
it sucks.
I find it funny. The last two articles that we had, basically, these companies don't know the definition of the words they're using.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where did you think Humble Bundle was? Let's build a monopoly. A monopoly.
Oh no, I don't want to lose friends now here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's oh well.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But that is the game news for this week.
That is it, guys.
Yeah.
And gals.
Hope y'all enjoyed it. We're gonna be coming back this next Saturday unless somebody has something. I know I have summer vacation coming up in June, but that'll be long from now.
Are you like going somewhere? Or?
We're going to Big Bear, taking the family to California. So I'm probably.
I was gonna say that's in California, right?
In California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
I'll probably get sued once or twice there.
Is that like? And honestly, I'm asking these questions here. That's like a nature park thing.
It's a mountain,
trail
tourist attraction kind of thing.
Okay.
They have a little town and whatnot, but it's a lot of fun because they have the little rail sliders. They have because it's summer, they have a pond and whatnot. They have a lot of boats and ski-doos and whatnot. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit disconnected.
I'm just gonna put this out there. Maybe look, you're a smart guy, okay? But
I don't like
you're gonna be. Sounds like you're gonna be outdoors.
What?
So the doctor did say I needed some more vitamin E. So I mean, I might come back a little bit darker. Yeah.
Out.
I don't
That
get
sounds
out
like
very
outside.
much. Huh?
That sounds like outside where there's like trees and sunlight and insects and
Fresh
stuff.
air?
It is.
What?
Fresh air.
My
Like-
therapist has said that I need to go out there and be among other people. And I was just like, people. I don't like that word.
Sir, do you not see where I live? I live in a cave.
Mhm.
It's like
No one's around.
Surprisingly,
doing?
though, that my whole ideal living situation is to go live out in the mountains, like in Lee Canyon somewhere, in like a cabin or something like that, and just have internet, fast internet. That's all I would want. It for retirement. I'm saying, like, that's where I would feel the most comfortable.
but okay.
I know it sounds weird. I don't know. Like that's just what I would like. What?
I'm asking this question not being funny and racist or anything like that, but as Joe and I have known each other for like 15 years,
Yeah.
where would you get your tacos?
I have not thought of everything.
It's like Las Vegas.
Yeah.
There's taco shops everywhere.
I'm
and
gonna
they're
have
awesome.
to buy the maze.
Where
and
would
make
you
it
get
myself?
the taco? Oh my god, you don't have that kind of will.
DoorDash Cottage Edition.
Yeah, there's like you're gonna order a DoorDash for like whatever the nearest taco shop. They're gonna be like, "I'll see you next Tuesday." All right, like
Yeah, $20 for the tamales, $50.
Just give
for
me
the
about
that
20 hours to
$80
get there.
delivery fee. You know, it's like where are you gonna go get some
I kid
you
you
know some
not.
carne asada fries, bro?
I kid you
Like
not. My wife Tony can cook up some nastiness. It's quite good. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll give her credit for that.
Okay,
I
that's
can
good.
give you some vitamin D. Gross.
Oh my.
Isn't he like your cousin, dude?
Yeah. Which is odd
God.
because he's not from the South, so I don't know what that.
Weird.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here, everyone. Appreciate you. Enjoy the show. We'll be back next week.
There you go. Just have an airdrop.
Yeah.
Like a little parachute comes in, and it's just like, ooh, my carne asada fries.
Ah, see.
Yeah. Ah,
Your loop drop has dropped.
that worked. Yeah, UAV online.
UAV online. AC-130 up above.
Just food comes in.
All right, see you everybody.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.